All right, folks, we are live again with another installment of Mitch and Mike on the mic, and Mike was just.
I love how you always say we're live when we
We are live.
record this and then put it up so everybody can listen to it.
We are live right now.
No part of this is live.
This is live. This is real life.
No, this is recording. That's what you mean to say.
Actually, you're right. It's not live because if I know the way biologically our systems work, how we are able to see things and hear things, there's like the most tiniest milliseconds of delays from the eyes to the brain and the ears to the brain. So you're right, Mike.
We're
not
totally
live.
not what I was saying because I'm not one of those douchebags who walks around talking like that. But
I don't know if you'd say douchebag, where I would use the term knowledgeable of the sciences, and I don't like it when you degrade them to the same way you would degrade someone with a bright orange flame tattoo across their wrists.
That's true, but there's a difference, and I'm gonna talk about this real quick. I'm talking about there's knowledgeable people, and then there's people
know-it-alls?
and then there's know-it-alls. Walk up to you and go, actually, Iceland is green and Greenland is ice.
So now you're stereotyping people with lisps and who aren't able to talk correctly with nerds and other smart people.
I am
hang out with
stereotyping
lots
a
of them.
little bit because that type of person is the nerd who's going to talk like that.
Isn't there a Simpsons character that does that?
No, well, there's the squeaky hair. There's the squeaky voice kid, but there's like Seth Green on probably Family Guy and definitely on Robot Chicken has a guy like that. Oh, you're probably thinking Mort Goldman or Neil Goldman on Family Guy.
Okay,
yes. Neil Goldman.
Now, is he a nerdy guy? Or what is he?
Yeah, he's a nerdy kid in Meg's grade.
What's the best cartoon character of all time?
Nerd cartoon character of all time?
Yeah.
Milhouse.
No.
No, who?
What's the scientist from The Simpsons?
Oh, Professor Frink.
Professor Frink could be the greatest nerd character of all time. Totally stole. What's the classic guy he's based off of? Like Mayor Comey's based off John F. Kennedy. Or
He was on an episode of The Simpsons. He's based off of like a Jerry Lewis character.
Jerry Lewis, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Jerry Lewis wasn't on there. Somebody else.
But he's based off the character that Jerry Lewis did.
Yeah, he's based off Jerry Lewis character.
What's the character's name from back in the day?
Oh,
right?
I couldn't tell you.
Dr. Strangelove?
No. What? No.
Oh, that's a whole different guy. Never mind.
You're thinking of Peter Sellers.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not thinking of him. I'm thinking of that character.
Do you know the rest of the title of Dr. Strangelove is?
In How to Something an Atomic Bomb?
Because
didn't U2 have an album, something about the dismantling an atomic bomb?
What?
U2 had an album, something about an atomic bomb.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So what's the title of the Strange
I'm
Love?
afraid I'm gonna screw this up now, but it's How I Stopped Caring and Learned to Love the Bomb or something like that. Let me look that up because that is a great movie.
That sounds close.
I love old school movies. I'm surprised you even knew how it started.
I'm a big fan of the Peter Sellers.
Oh yeah,
The Pink Panther.
Pink Panther movies are great.
I especially love the remake with Steve Martin.
Oh,
that
God.
was really good.
Oh,
in fact,
God. You're asking for me to go on a rant. You're praying for it right now.
Listen, the CGI, the casting, it was all very well done.
Ooh, Dr. Strangelove or how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb. So I was damn close.
I think we're gonna round it up to an answer. That's a correct answer.
Yeah.
If that was a question on Family Feud, they would round up for that.
They would give it to me, or Jeopardy. Jeopardy would give it to me.
Jeopardy probably wouldn't give it to you.
Really?
No. They
need exact wording because I was one word off.
Alex Trebek. Yeah, exactly. Or even more so, if you were have to read it, is the final answer on Wheel of Fortune, you would have been out of luck, and the next person right in line would have been able to snag it from you.
Oh yeah, Wheel of Fortune would have been done because that's definitely about spelling and getting everything perfect.
Oh yeah. So we got sidetracked there right off the gate.
Yeah, you tried to get me to go on the tangent of tattoos.
But because we saw this
Catcher for
the Rays.
We're watching the Yankee game right now.
And Mike said that
Even
he
though
saw...
that's funny actually, because I walked in and Mitch told me this year that he's rooting for the Red Sox and he had the Yankee game on.
I can't watch the Yankees game just to see their demise. They're down by 4 runs in the 6th. There's no way they're going to win this game.
You can't
I'm
say
reveling.
that.
I'm reveling right now in the fact that the Yankees are not going to be able to win this game. They're going to drop. I know they're doing pretty well, contrary to the fact that they got a lot of injuries.
That's true.
And the Red Sox are doing well, contrary to the fact that they shouldn't do well.
That's true.
Exactly. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Major League Baseball.
So what are the standings?
Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, Indians, Dodgers.
Incorrect.
That's true.
The Red Sox are in first place there, buddy.
They are?
Yeah.
I knew that.
No, you just
Sure,
clearly said you didn't.
I wanted to give you Yankees fans
Bullshit.
out there a glimmer of hope.
All right. Anyway, we got sidetracked there again. That happens a lot. But we were talking about the Rays catcher because they showed a close up, and what I thought I saw.
Mike described. And this, I'm gonna take this full circle back to how we got on the tangent about everything.
Okay.
Douchebags.
Yep.
You said. I said no douchebags. We got to nerds.
Yep.
We got to Dr. Frank. We got to Strangelove.
Yep.
And we're coming back around to baseball tattoos.
That's right.
The guy in baseball.
Yep.
And so to say it right, you claimed the guy had like a flame tattoo.
I thought he had flames going up his forearm, which, to be fair, he did.
But they're not. It's not like orange.
But it wasn't like.
There's some other shit in there.
Yeah, it was part of another tattoo. It looked like there was like a spear or a sword or some kind of staff.
I can never get
also on it.
I can never get a tattoo.
Really?
Needles. Like, well, maybe. Although I'll rephrase it.
What if it was on like your back?
I will rephrase it. I will never be conscious. Did I say that properly? I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I'll never be
conscious.
While getting a tattoo. Someone might drag me there.
So this is how you get a tattoo. You decide.
I will pass out from the needles. Right in my skin. I will pass out.
No, this is what you do.
And I'll wake up with a tattoo.
You fucking decide.
Language.
Coming from you, wow, that's.
I have not sworn yet this podcast.
But what was the
I don't fucking know.
When you posted the last one on there, it said, "I swear a lot."
Yeah, I noticed the second halves of our of the podcast recordings that I try to release the day or two after the first one comes out when we tape.
Yeah,
I don't think people want to sit there and hopefully people click on the link to begin with. I don't think people want to listen to an hour of us, so I try to space it out a little bit.
See, when I listen to podcasts though, I like big fucking long ones because I know a lot of people listen to them in the car. People you're right, 30, 45-minute podcasts. When I listen to one, I want it to be like 2 hours. I like super long podcasts, but it's because the podcasts I listen to are about a specific topic or something that I'm really interested in.
No, that's true. But yeah, going back to tattoos, I can never get one. I hate needles. That's the same way I can never be a hardcore drug user. No matter how good the drug is, you could come up with a miracle drug. If it has to be injected into my veins, get out of here. Never.
Well, I have a solution for you. I know how you can get a tattoo. It's pretty easy.
How?
You decide beforehand what tattoo you want to get. Okay?
Uh-huh.
You write it down and everything. You can even write a little note saying
I can't draw it because that's
no.
thing.
Oh no, you don't have to draw it.
I can't draw.
But you decide beforehand what you want to get. You can, go to the tattoo parlor or whatever, and have actually that's the best thing to do. Go to the tattoo parlor, fucking talk to the guy, figure out what tattoo you want to get. Talk to the guy who's gonna do it, whatever.
Could be a girl.
Leave. Yeah, girl, whatever. Whoever the tattoo. Fuck you.
Language.
Whoever the tattoo artist is. Talk to them beforehand. Leave. Go decide exactly when you're gonna get it.
Some people say I fucked it up. Some people say tattoo artist. I say barely high school graduate.
No, some of those people are super talented.
Okay, we're gonna delete that so I don't get my ass kicked.
Yeah. Anyway, so you figure out exactly what you want to get. You set up an appointment. Get fucking wasted. You are blackout
I'll
drunk.
still pass out.
Yeah, and that's fine. Pass out on the chair.
I can't do it.
And then you're sitting there getting the tattoo.
I don't even know what a tattoo I get.
That's one. But
You know what
that you can
tattoo?
talk to
Do
the
you know what
guy.
tattoo you'd get if you got a tattoo?
I've thought about it a lot because
you'd get one that said, "I heart spatulas," and that would be the most badass tattoo ever.
that would be the. No, all right, it's not the worst tattoo ever because I've seen some bad ones.
Really? Do you see a lot? Do you see a lot of tattoos in your day?
I do because I work in kitchens and I am. There might have been like one or two others that I've met, but I've been working in kitchens for 10 years.
Uh-huh. You are the one. You're in the 1%.
Yeah, no tattoos, no piercings. Wow. I've thought about it. I have.
Do you want to get one? What if you get a tattoo of
Kinda
a piercing on your ear? Would that take care of both?
No, I have no real interest in getting a piercing.
No. What about
Tattoos
tattoo?
are a different story.
You thinking about it?
Oh man, I've thought about it for so long.
What kind of tattoo would you get? Would you get a little cute one on your ankle?
No. See, that's part of it. I don't know exactly know where I would get it. I've had different ideas. The one that I always come back to because it makes perfect sense for me. You know, part of my big fear. I always want something original. You know, something that a lot of people don't have. This one, some people have.
A velociraptor on your dick?
Yes.
That would be amazing.
How did you know?
He's on the hunt, ladies. He will tear your shit apart.
No, but I also want it to be something that I wouldn't like regret. You know, something that's big to me.
Yeah, like a velociraptor on your dick.
Yeah, I totally wouldn't regret that because I have met a couple people who've been like, don't get tattoos because you know you might regret them.
Yeah.
But the one I always came back to was the Simpsons episode.
You can't get a Simpsons tattoo.
The flying hellfish. When Grandpa has the hellfish tattoo on his arm.
Oh my god, the flying hellfish.
Badass looking.
Well,
I like it.
I was going to say you could never get one, but that might be the closest option that I've ever heard of coming from a cartoon. It's not too bad.
See, it's not terrible.
No, it's not. It could be way worse.
It could be.
Like you could get a tattoo of Marge.
Oh my god, I wouldn't know. All right, but the worst tattoo. Well, all right, this kid.
Someone you work with now?
No, thank God. He tried to friend me on Facebook, and I kept declining him. It took like 3 times before he figured it out. I worked with him, and he's a nice kid, but he's annoying, and I don't really like him. And he's not the sharpest tool because of the and this will give you a good idea.
You like a tattoo artist?
No, he's not a tattoo artist. He's a wannabe chef, and he's definitely not. He's got...
Spit it out.
Well, this isn't even the worst one. He's got flaming skulls on his chest, first of all.
Ooh.
But he showed me this one the first day that I met him.
What's he showing you, Mike?
Dude, a tattoo, which is the dumbest tattoo I've ever seen in my life. Like, circular, like a half moon, kind of, on his stomach, like around the belly button.
Yep.
It said Homewrecker.
Oh, what a scumbag.
So, like, but he's...
What a dirty scumbag.
He's, at this point, he's had it for a while, and when I knew him, he was probably like 24. So what the hell happens when, like, you meet the girl of your dreams, and you go to the beach with her parents? Hey, Mom and Dad. Oh, what's that say? Oh, that says Homewrecker. Yeah.
Well, as long as she doesn't have a home yet. Although I would say,
seriously,
that mother better watch your shit.
Okay, let me ask you this. I've asked multiple girls, would you sleep with a guy that had a Homewrecker tattoo? And they go, God, no.
Well, yes, that's what they say. They would definitely do it if the situation arose.
Depends on the woman, the girl.
That's true. If you ask them if no one would ever find out about it, they would probably say no, but they totally would.
Maybe it depends on how well they knew this kid, because the tattoos and everything, the personality didn't match up. You know?
Okay. So wait a second. How does that work? Is he a nice guy?
Kind of.
How do you say it doesn't match up?
He's a pretty nice guy, real chatty, kind of pretty nerdy.
Maybe he's in construction.
No, he worked.
Maybe he
tried to work in like kitchens.
Maybe he was a home wrecker. He like would demolish homes and build them up, and then you could tell that story to the ladies, and they like him because he did it for charity for the homeless and the poor.
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Because that would be a good spin for him. You know what?
He was only 24. I got to know his backstory pretty quick.
You know what
he's like I said, he's real chatty.
What I want you to do is I want you to friend him on Facebook.
No.
Send him to me. Say, I know this guy who's going to turn your image around in a heartbeat.
He doesn't want to change his image. That's the thing. He was proud to show me that tattoo because he showed it to me on the first day that I met him.
Well, you guys really hit it off. It's too bad you couldn't show him anything.
What?
I don't know.
Ew. I don't care what you meant by that. No.
Show him the bat wings.
The Batwing,
like
bitch.
in Waiting.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in a while.
That's a good movie.
Somebody from that same kitchen stole that movie from me. I let him borrow it, and he...
Are you still waiting to get it back?
Oh, that was terrible. Boo.
Maybe you should use your brain. Maybe you should use your brains to figure out a scheme to get it back.
No, I'll just download it, like I do with every other movie.
Fair enough.
Although I specifically bought that one because of the movie, and I wanted all the like extra shit on there. But whatever. I think I must. No, I probably only gave him the one CD. I probably still have the second one. Yeah. So yeah,
both.
wow, that was a pretty long tangent there. So do you want to get to current events, like 20 minutes in?
Boy, yeah. What's first on the list?
Well, the big story of the past week.
Oh, the Boston bomber.
Yeah.
Bombers, plural.
The Boston Marathon.
Sick sons of
the
bitches.
bombers. The two brothers from Chechnya.
From Chechnya, eh? Yeah, that's just so weird. It's let me say this first of all. It's awful.
Yes.
It's despicable.
Yes.
It's ruthless. It's vile. It's the worst thing ever.
We still haven't gotten any like comments out of the one they caught, right?
He is, I guess, because he's been in the hospital, and I guess today he's been able to write, because I guess he got really fucked up when they were shooting him in the boat, throwing like flashbangs at him and everything.
Yeah.
I just find it bizarre. I don't know. The situation's different because I guess it has to do with the day I was on. It just. I'll put it in context in this too, because one of the people I'm friends with on Facebook he's in the army. Mm-hmm. He's been in Iraq, and I think he's in Afghanistan now, or he's been in there recently. He posted a meme about it, and like I said, it's awful, but you put it in perspective. There was a lot of injuries. There was 3 deaths. Which in the grand scheme of, like I said, it's awful.
4 because of the policeman.
Okay, so after the fact, in the grand scheme of things, that's not bad. And I feel like a total ass for saying it, but I'm saying
I see what you mean.
Picture,
because it was only
the picture that was shared by one of my friends on Facebook was 7 soldiers died today, or innocent civilians were killed over here because of this, and no one cares, and no one thinks about it. And maybe it's just because it's like, oh, that's their job. It just again, I'm not saying it's not bad. It's awful. I'm just saying it's just interesting when you put it in the perspective of how
I understand what
everyone
you mean.
freaks the fuck out just because it's just so against the norm, I guess.
Yes.
It's just weird.
I understand, but I have 3 reasons why I disagree. Not you're correct, but I disagree that it's not a major event. And
it just also comparing it to the attack in 9/11, where there was 3,000 people.
Yeah,
I'm not. Trust me, I'm
I
not
understand what you're
taking
saying
away
in the
from it at
grand
all.
scale of things. Yeah, because there was only like 200 people injured, 4 deaths. You're right. It's not that big. Haiti, there was 316,000 deaths at least. It was like it might have been like 367,000.
Yeah. From
Like
when?
3 years ago.
In the earthquake?
Yeah, in Haiti.
Okay. Difference between, and I will also say difference between, like natural causes like earthquakes or tornadoes or hurricanes.
Yeah, even man-made, like you were talking about. Grand scheme, not that big. But 3 reasons why I disagree. One, it happened at a major event. The Boston Marathon, you hear about it every year. It's a major event.
Sure.
So, and somebody bombed it. Somebody was able to bomb it.
Oh yeah. And the other thing too, because I'll say too, there's absolutely zero way to prevent and keep that safe 100%. There is no way you can perfectly keep
it's pretty
26 miles of things of the course safe.
Yeah.
It's such a just a like, and I think that also, and you might get to it, but that also kind of goes into the how everyone freaks out about it, and rightly so. Like I said, I feel weird saying it. I just want to bring it up just to kind of throw it out there because I'm sure other people think about that thing in the same way. Like, there's no way to fully protect yourself against that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Exactly. You just gotta go and do it, and just it. Every time you get on an airplane, it's the same thing.
Every time you get in your car.
Yeah. But the other 2 reasons are, I feel like they're historical because they're really kind of like first, at least one definitely, and second in at least a very long time. Have you ever heard of an entire city, especially one as big as Boston, shutting down? All transportation, everything's closed, all gone to find one person. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, that's true. That's really, I think that's definitely a first.
That's big. Like maybe it happened, like 200 years ago, something like that. Sure, but and second, this is the first time that social media, on the grand scale, like with Twitter and everything that we have, fast movement, has been used to help catch these guys.
Oh yeah, I mean there was a lot of stuff. I know that one time CNN, wherever the hell they got their information, was saying like they jumped the gun on something. I know, and that's weird. And so that's the other thing. That's where social media can kind of freak people out because stuff. Yeah, it was great because like I remember there was one kid. It was on the news or I saw an article about it online somewhere, where the kid was scared to go out because like either he looked like one of the guys or someone had misidentified him as the person. So sometimes that you get that like vigilantism, and it can kind of you got to be real careful with it. You got to make sure.
That's true. Like
a lot of people.
Look, the kid with the hoodie in Florida.
Which one is this?
This was I think it was over a year ago by now. He was like shot by the neighborhood watch guy.
Oh, Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's a whole different. That's a whole different situation. Because that was like a one-on-one altercation that happened where the one guy was trying to defend himself, not like something happened and then like tons of people.
Wait,
after the fact.
Who was trying to defend himself? The guy with the gun?
The guy in the neighborhood watch, yeah.
The kid had nothing. He had like candy and soda.
Well, they got in a fight and the kid was beating him up.
No.
Yeah, that's what happened. The guy had a broken nose, gash on the back of his head. He was defending himself, and everyone. That's part of the thing with the social media. Again, different than this situation.
You're talking about
the
Trayvon,
the
with the Miami Heat all wore like the hoodies.
Yes,
for this guy,
because with the social media and with how the news reported it, the picture of the cute little kid. He looked like he was like 13 years old. Like,
I vaguely.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is that, that picture was like 4 or 5 years old, and so the media took that and ran with that and made him the guilty party. It made him the total innocent victim. about a week after the fact, and is the facts already going? Of course, is with social media, this is all out right away. Everyone's already making all these assumptions. I can't remember the guy's name. The guy who shot Trayvon Martin. Like he was obviously guilty, and he's gonna blah 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 blah. And as the facts started coming out, they got in an altercation. And, then you see newer pictures of the kid. He's like this gangster kid. He's got like gold teeth in his, not to prove that he's going to go beat people up, but it's like a much different picture of, in that reality, what was going on. And when they were able to get the evidence and see things about how this other guy who was defending himself, maybe he should not have used a gun or whatever. If he felt he was in danger and he was getting beat up, and they have the photo evidence of his nose busted up and other scrapes and scratches and bleeding from the back of his head, and he had to defend himself, he is perfectly legally in the right. So you got to be careful
all right.
before jumping to conclusions with that sort of thing.
That's true, but my question is, why was he getting into an altercation with this kid? And why, as a part of the neighborhood watch, is he carrying a gun?
He has every right to carry a gun. He has every right, because if you're on neighborhood watch and you get a couple gangbangers fucking around near someone's house,
on neighborhood watch,
yeah,
the whole idea of neighborhood watch is you call the police. You're watching call police,
and he did call the police. And as it was going, and if you looked into it, it was going on. Like he was trying to call him over, figure out what was going on, and it's been a while. As he was on the phone, they've got the 911 tapes.
Yeah, I know.
And so then they got into an altercation. Like the kid came back and they started getting an altercation. Like the kid attacked him or whatever. He didn't shoot him because he thought he had a bag of Skittles and he mistook it for a gun.
Yeah, I know
they were
that.
They were brawling.
Honestly, I clearly don't know enough about this, and we're way off on a tangent. I want to get back to
this is great about Boston. Yeah, so they're trying to figure out. So the younger brother. That's the most crazy part about it is when they had the initial shootout when they were both the older brother and younger brother were still alive.
Yeah.
The craziest part about it. Well, the older brother got shot up, like he was done for.
Yeah, well,
kid ran him over with a car so he could blast you like the police barricaded cars.
Yeah, he ran over his
older brother, which is nuts.
Well, I can see in the situation, when you gotta decide if you want to live.
There was also a hypothesis saying that it's possible that the older brother had some sort of explosive strapped to his back, so he was trying to set him off if he ran over him. I don't know how. That's just a it's just a
well,
kind of
also before he ran over him, the guy just started walking towards the police, firing a gun, through smoke, he clearly did not care if he was going to live or die.
I don't know exactly how the beginning part happened when it got like that, but yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what these fucking kids were
thinking.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, what was their motive?
I think it ties back to I think the Chechnyan people they're Muslim or Islamic, whatever the hell you want to call it.
But they were,
and
I don't know when that happened because it's been slowly happening.
What do you mean slowly happening?
The religion of Islam coming into the Chechnyan, it hasn't always been Muslim.
Oh yeah, I don't even know. I don't know the history like that. But
yeah,
I think that's part of it.
One thing
it's hard to know. That's why it's kind of in this case because for sometimes you're like, I hope get these fuckers like the Batman shooter, the guy that shot up in the Colorado theater with a Batman.
Oh yeah.
They're like, just fucking shoot. Have the police officer just take the guy out. He's obviously the guy with the AK-47s. Wearing the fucking body armor. Shoot him in the fucking head. Oops, my finger slipped. Save everyone the trouble, the taxpayer money. Fuck it. In this situation, they killed the one guy. And they captured the other one. So maybe now we can figure out what the fuck, why.
Yeah.
Who are you connected to? Are there more plans? So there's kind of that justice totally served the one guy already. Justice will be served to the younger kid.
Yep.
Deservedly so. He's a fucking prick. He's a no good son of a bitch.
Well, and it's funny because everybody. This is something that pisses me off. This seems to happen every time this kind of thing happens. Everybody who knows this kid came out and said, "Oh my God, he was always the nicest kid. You know, I can't believe this happened."
Did you?
You know what my initial reaction is? Gee, the guy doesn't want you to know he's a bad guy. Maybe he was faking it, you fucking retard. Like, oh my God.
That's true.
They don't want you to know he's a terrorist, so he acts nice? Shocking.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, like the terrorists before they just go around punching people in the face.
Yeah, like,
Here,
gee, you know.
thank you for
I don't want to be
this gasoline.
I don't
Boom.
want to be suspected as a terrorist, so I'm just gonna act like a terrorist. Like, what? Come on.
That's a good point, Mike. That's a really good point. Oh man, yeah, that's true. That's very true. Shit, there's something else I'm gonna say. I forgot all about it.
But part of me thinks that like the younger brother was more influenced by the older brother. Seems like the older brother's much more
but still
diabolical.
And you know what I heard today is that it's possible that they may be able to tie the older brother to some like gruesome unsolved murder from like a couple years ago.
Oh really?
Like in a place where there's like a lot of Russians, and I guess Chechnya is in like
yeah,
it's like a Russian territory, part of Russia, or whatever. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. And
or the police are lazy.
Probably. You know, and the other thing that really kind of drives me nuts with all these situations is that, you know, everyone's like, oh, you know, Boston, you know, everyone's got to come out and talk about the specific city. Obviously, in this case, Boston is, oh, there's such a good group of people. We're going to bounce back. And of course you're going to bounce back. What do you just think? Like, when's the last time there was some kind of, like, really big thing that happened and people just started committing suicide over it? It's never happened. Everyone bounces back. They're going to be fine.
Well, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, the community, it's just like, it's like the political correctness of, like, you know, it's like when an athlete after a game, like, well, we tried hard, and the most important thing, they say all the standard cliched things. So everyone's like, well, Boston, you know, they're a good group of people, and they're gonna fight back, and they'll get through this. Like, yeah, we know.
I agree.
The city's not gonna just, you know, burst into flames, and people can start killing themselves and off of themselves and raping and pillaging everything.
Yeah, no,
they'll get it. Just
martial law does not have to come into play.
Okay.
The only like. I almost feel like this is that, you know, the nerdy kid. Actually,
this nerdy kid. This son of a bitch is everywhere tonight.
Like the only thing I can say disagreeing with you is on the grand scale of things. Something like Hiroshima. You know, they they don't just bounce back and recover. That took years of rebuilding, and you know.
Well, the nuclear fucking waste stays in the air.
Anyway,
these are bombs made out of fucking nails and other.
They destroy
shrapnel people.
I mean, yeah, there's no just bouncing back from that. But I know you're not talking.
But they're
about
talking about the community and like the feelings of people, and
yeah,
I mean, obviously it's a deep wound and it's gonna take time, you know. But it's said is like it's prefaced on the fact that, you know, there was some sort of a weird bombing in, like, you know, Cedar Falls, Iowa, and fucking the whole community just like up and killed themselves, just like because they couldn't handle. Like, no,
well,
that's
like
never
I said,
happened.
The Boston Marathon is a big deal, especially in Boston.
And that's the other thing too.
It's a major. It's a major event.
It's a major event.
It's a major award.
And that's the other thing too, that about these kids, and another reason why, although you could say the same thing about the Twin Towers, because usually when these terrorist things that happen and the attacks happen, it's targeted towards certain individuals. And the reason, like, I had a sense it was kind of an individual, not like a terrorist group, like an Al-Qaeda thing right away, is because when you have the Boston Marathon and you've got people represented from tons of different countries, not just in America, because a lot of, you know, it's terrorists against America is specifically for Americans. You know, you've got these people from other countries to go and do this, so you would think
it might not necessarily be Americans in general, but it could be more a religious thing.
No, that's what I think. That's what I think. A lot of it comes back to.
Yeah, and it could just be because it's also a worldwide event. Maybe they don't want to just target Americans.
No, I know that. No, that's so. But that's the other side of the coin there too. But also at the same time, if they do, you know, they'd want to do it like, well, you think what's the guy the Oklahoma City bombing?
McVeigh.
Timothy McVeigh. That was a specific anti like American fuck you Oklahoma City government building.
Government. Yeah.
I mean, we're in Oklahoma. How many fucking other random people from across the world are going to be there? Probably.
Yeah. No. In Oklahoma
one
City,
person.
Yeah.
Tops.
That was clearly.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I thought it was interesting.
I think that it's almost a different situation because I feel like he was more on the crazy side. Like, these kids were kind of normal. This guy was like a secluded criminal, like real smart, but also unhinged, And these guys, clearly, a screw was loose. But these guys, I don't feel like were unhinged like he was,
Yeah.
But as you were saying, he was going after the government. That was clearly the United States, and this is, well, we don't know what.
Yeah, we don't know yet for these fuckers. And the other thing, I think too that I like a lot, and I thought about it, and people started mentioning it again on Facebook. Being in Boston, in a more liberal place where there's probably more gun laws, and just talking about the recent gun legislation to try to get stuff passed where there's restrictions on the type of weapons and restrictions on the the amount of bullets it can be in a clip or a magazine or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think everyone in Boston that day or those 2 days or so when everything was on lockdown wishes they had a fucking AK-47 in their fucking home and weren't limited to a certain amount of bullets? You see that son of a bitch walk into your house looking around knowing that he's got pipe bombs and other kind of explosive devices and he's loaded and he's ready to kill anybody. You don't think that everyone in that city was like, oh shit, I need me some defense mechanisms?
Yes, to a certain extent.
And defending yourself with a fucking wooden baseball bat ain't exactly going to keep you safe in that sort of a situation either.
True.
Think about it. They found the guy in the backyard of some lady's house. He could have just as easily broken into the house, killed the lady, and bunkered himself in the basement or some other place.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like that. That's exactly the sort of thing where you can't let some fucking psychopaths ruin the freedom in the country to people who are going to be law-abiding citizens when they actually are going to need that when they actually need that shit, are going to need it for a reason.
I see that how often, all right,
Doesn't
I see
happen a
home
lot.
invasion. Yeah, exactly. I see home invasion as more of a consistent issue than this once in a lifetime kind of thing happening.
Well, it is.
I don't think this is something that you can.
It's better to always be prepared.
Base as a reason. If this happened at least a little more often, not once every. I don't know when the last time this has happened.
This is a totally unique one.
Exactly. Like I don't think you can use that as an example for gun control. Personally,
Well, I think it's a great example.
well, you're saying, oh well, in case this, well, when's this going to happen again?
Well, this particular event doesn't happen,
Right.
But anytime, but you can see how fragile and how easy it is. And again, it's a big situation, but you can see how much this sort of thing, whether the guy's just armed with different guns or he's just some lunatic, it's easy to see how when you overprotect people and you over legislate and you over regulate in some situations, it can actually cause more harm than good.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know how far into that topic, into that subject I really want to get.
Oh, we're not going to go into it at all because right now we're going to take a little break right now.
Yeah,
and we're going to come back with some important statistics about how I am
just destroying people.
I am a
you are a mass murderer.
I am a destroyer
of lives.
But I'm a lover. And we'll leave it.
We'll be back.